Royal Ramble Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Royal Ramble Radio. I'm your host, as always, Brian P. Schmidt. Every week, Thursday night, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on RoyalRambleRadio.com and always on Facebook.com/Royal Ramble Radio, 609-910-0687. Give us a shout. Let's talk pro wrestling. Oh, good. It feels good to be back. Does it feel good to be back, Tristan?
I mean, I was not here last week. Obviously,
I wasn't here either. Yeah,
but I was here the week before, so I'm glad that we're back talking professional wrestling. So yes, I am glad that we're back.
Yep. How you good weekend?
I mean, my weekend was great.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't overeat. I didn't undereat.
You didn't overeat.
You know, I think I just ate. That's what I did.
That's good. And as always, we have a new oncomer. He's actually in the top window right above me to my left. Yes. Say hi to our producer, Mr. Stephen James.
Hey, guys. I'm glad to be back on the board here, getting ready to go. Another great week of pro wrestling, guys.
Yeah, he's taking my spot.
Steve, you should become a phone sex operator.
Yeah, you should.
I should.
You should.
Yeah.
You're cooking with butter.
So, Brian, what'd you do for Thanksgiving?
I went to my mother's house.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was on the menu?
Turkey.
That was it. You just had turkey.
No.
You showed up to your mom's house. Happy Thanksgiving.
No.
And all you ate was turkey.
No, there was mashed. You know, the normal fixings: mashed potatoes, corn. There was cauliflower, mashed cauliflower.
What in the hell?
Yeah, don't ask me.
Like, why'd you waste your time mashing it? Why don't you just eat it?
My mother's a health food nut. What can I say?
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it was everyone was there. It was about 26 of us from the Schmidt family there.
Wow.
Well, Coffee Clan. That's who it is, and the Schmidt family doesn't exist anymore.
Okay, that sounds like something we need to talk about off the air.
Yeah, it's something off the air. But it was a nice time. How about yours?
I mean, mine's was good. I mean, you know, I worked a shoot job. You know, I got to watch crazy people misbehave.
I almost came up to your shoot job.
You know, I would have had to strangle you.
I would have strangled myself.
One thing that I did do was I met my sister, who I've never met before. She is 46 years old, and she's the oldest of 8. There's 8 of us from my father. So I met her. It was pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Hanging out with an older sibling. She's from the island of Jamaica. So I took her to a diner. She's never been to a diner before.
Okay, so let me ask you something. Why would you bring her to a diner?
Where else would I take her?
First of all, were you having drinks before you went to the diner?
No.
Okay, number one. Number two, what kind of diner was it? Was it like a run by, was it a good one, bad one? Like, I just... How? Like, why would you take them to... She's never been to diner. Okay, so you took her to a good one.
Yes.
Okay, what'd she have?
She had salmon.
She had salmon?
Yes.
At a diner?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Seriously, it's a heart attack.
Oh, my God.
What's wrong with having salmon at a diner?
Because you don't have fish at a diner. Wouldn't you agree, Steve?
There are several things wrong with having fish at a
Exactly.
diner. Several things.
Yeah.
Beyond calamari, or galamad, as my family would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't get fish at
You
a
don't do
diner.
that.
I don't understand why. That doesn't make any sense to me.
That's like etiquette. You don't. That's like no. Anyway, let's not talk about that anymore. Let's move on to the big news, the big old high spots that we had here this week.
Oh yeah, the high spots on Royal Ramble Radio.
Yeah. Let's talk about one of the big things that had been going on: Corey Graves and Morrow.
Okay.
The whole what happened over at NXT, where Corey made a comment on Twitter about I think it was Morrow's commentary. But Corey went onto his podcast. There was an apology on Twitter, but he went to on his podcast to apologize for it as well. So,
on a personal note, I need to address something. This past Saturday, during the TakeOver War Games event, I sent out a tweet. It was an unpopular opinion, as I often do, with the intention of just stirring up a little controversy, maybe have something fun to talk about on TV or here on the show. It was maybe not the most professional way to go about things, and it was never meant to offend or disrespect or disparage anybody. That was never my intention. If it was taken as such, I apologize deeply. That was not my intention. I would never intentionally cause anybody any undue stress, especially a coworker. So I apologize.
Now, does this seem like was forced out of him? I seem like there's some he's genuine behind it, but it doesn't feel like he's being really genuine. It's like when someone's trying to just put one over you and just saying something just to say something, just to, gullible.
Right.
I don't believe his apology.
Well, you see, Brian,
I don't.
Brian, my issue, and I want to say it's like an issue. On a scale of 1 to issues, is not really an issue.
Yeah.
But the thing that I noticed with the whole entire deal was he never mentioned it by name.
No, he didn't.
He never mentioned Morrow by name. So
if
you lived underneath a rock, you'd have no clue.
Yeah.
What Corey Graves was talking about. However, an apology is an apology. When they say that you apologize, Brian, you don't really apologize. I don't. When I do something, when I'm apologizing, I'm not apologizing for you.
Yeah.
I'm apologizing for me.
Yes.
So that I can move on. I'm sorry that I did that to you. So if you accept my apology, I appreciate you accept my apology. That's why sometimes it's like, hey, look, let me just go ahead and just throw this apology out there. But I mean, he did it. It was also mentioned as well too on his podcast. I'm not sure if it was the same exact episode as it was with the New Day, but the New Day actually brought it up as well too. And let me tell you, he juked and he jived that one.
Yeah.
He wasn't touching that one with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
But he apologized. Whether it's heartfelt or not, that's something that I think that he has to deal with his maker. It's not it's not for us. Does Morrow feel that the apology is genuine? I think that's what really matters as well.
609-910-0687. Give us a call. Let us know what you think about the whole apology thing, if this was a genuine thing. I honestly think that Morrow has had issues before with this. He had issues with JBL. So this may be a continuing thing, or it may not be a continuing thing. I don't know if it's going to be that what's the word I'm trying to think of?
Well, everyone knows that he suffers from bipolar disorder and things like that. My question to the both of you is that unprofessional as well? How do you balance between the two? Not necessarily his disease, but saying that you're not going to work before it. He's a contractually obligated talent. Every time one of these things seems to happen, you have to take care of him. How much is too much if you're an employer of a company and you see something like that?
Right.
Honestly, I would prefer him get the help first before anything, before he returns. So if it's something like this happens again, he should go focus on himself first, make sure it's all taken care of, that he has the right coping materials to have this done, and then come back and work. Mind you, I love Morrow's commentary.
Okay.
But I want him to be healthy too, so he can actually do commentary the way it's supposed to be done.
But you know what too, though, Brian? I mean, one of the things I always tell people is that, you need to, at the end of the day, you need to take care of yourself because, at your job, despite of what you think, you're just a social security number that they use to pay taxes.
Basically.
So, you need to take care of yourself, because what happens is, I told a woman at work the other day, she's having chest pains.
Okay.
So I said to her, I'm like, you need to go ahead and take your behind to the hospital right now.
Yeah.
Asked her supervisor. I was telling her, I was like, you're going home now. She goes, oh no, I'm good. She goes, everybody's going to be upset when I leave. I said, let me tell you something. I said, when you drop dead in here today and die, I said, we're going to mourn you and then replace you in 2 weeks.
Yep.
I said, that's what's going to happen, so take care of yourself. So, I mean, Morrow, and I always say that name wrong.
Morrow.
But if Ronaldo should know within himself whether he can come back early or not. Maybe he just needs a day off just to get his mind right. Maybe he just needs to sneak in an extra session with with his psychiatrist or somebody, his mental health provider.
Yeah.
Just so he can talk about it and get it off his chest. So I don't know.
And they're in one central location. It's not like Morrow's traveling all over the place, so that he could find something in that area and work from there.
Right.
How do you criticize someone, though, in that profession, which is often criticized by everyone, and still maintain your composure? Like, is there a point where, if this continues to happen, that the WWE needs to go, okay, for your health, we need to take you off of television for a while, and not necessarily him taking himself off of television? Do you think WWE has a responsibility to look after his mental health for him?
Well, they did that with Lars. Don't forget,
With who?
Lars Sullivan.
Oh.
So
Lars Sullivan was a different thing altogether.
I agree, but still, mental health is still a big thing, and if it's not being taken care of. Lars is out for God knows how long when he's going to come back. But Morrow can't just. Lars basically, they took him out of the limelight because he was having a mental breakdown. This is something Morrow does.
When you say out of the limelight, what do you mean, Brian?
Out of the TV. Out of TV.
Out of NXT last week.
Out of NXT.
Okay.
I'm talking about Lars. I'm not talking about Morrow.
Oh, Lars. Okay.
I'm talking about Lars. So Lars was taken out of TV. He was going to get that big push on Raw. He was going to be that monster. He buried freaking the Lucha House Party, which is an easy thing to do. They just took him out because he wasn't feeling in the right mind. And Morrow just going through this and just saying, "Oh, I'm going to have a reaction because someone said something, bad about me on Twitter."
Well, I got Matt Williams. He's checking on the chat, one of the Rambles, and he said that that's no excuse. You can't use bipolar as an excuse. I'm not really sure what you're referencing, Matt.
Yeah.
But give us a call at 609-910-0687. We'd love for you to call us. We're a live, professional wrestling interactive show. So call us in and get it off your, as they say in my neighborhood, get it off your chest, bruh.
Yeah.
Get it off your chest. So go ahead and give us a call.
Yeah, give us a call. But it's hopefully this doesn't happen again with Morrow because I like Morrow's commentary. He should be more so he should be more on the TV more than not on TV. But let's talk about the Twitter. Let's talk about the TV. Let's talk about all that wonderful, wonderful stuff that happens on Twitter.
Okay.
The Dana Brooke, Mr. Dave Bautista.
Oh.
Ooh.
They're like sliding in.
Oh,
I think they're sliding in each other's DMs.
Sliding into DMs right there. Wow. You've been following this, right?
So it's actually DB is sliding into DBs.
Yeah. Oh my. This actually came off of. So Dana was on a episode of Ride Along with Mojo Raleigh, and Mojo was they were trying to pick up people back a little bit back and forth while they were in San Francisco for a Raw. They're driving around, and she could not hit anything whatsoever. So what happened?
Wait, what do you mean by that?
She couldn't get a number. She couldn't get a number.
Okay.
So Mojo was getting numbers from the drive-through people at McDonald's. He was getting numbers wearing a Bob Ross wig. Just literally, I don't know. Like, he has so much creative material, and they're just throwing him into looking into a mirror, which he doesn't do anymore. But the Twitter machine, Dave Bautista put up about maybe, I don't know when he put it up. It says, "And I'm single again, googly eyes." Everyone.
No, that's not googly eyes. That's like, look, like, hey, look out. That's what that means.
Yeah, here we go. You keep your eyes peeled.
That's right. I'm like, yo, you see this?
So immediately the Twitter machine, Dana Brooks fans basically said, go talk. And this romance kind of just started brewing, and all of a sudden, bam, DB on DB Love. What do you think about this? Now, here's the question I have for you, and this is kind of it.
Well, you're presenting me with two questions.
I'm presenting with you two questions.
Give me question two.
Question one, what do you think about this?
Okay.
Your opinion on this. Two, would you date someone in the business?
I have never dated anybody in the business.
Okay.
But I mean, if I had the opportunity to, and my status was different.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks.
No, she's out of your league.
I
Let's
knew
be
that
honest,
was
but
coming.
She's out of my league. Let me tell you she's out of my league. Let me tell you, I would grow a mustache and give her something to ride.
Wow.
What? Wow. What? Wow. Sasha Banks is not out of my league.
Yeah, it's okay. Right.
Gotta believe in yourself.
That's right. Darn right. Darn rootin' tootin'.
How so she was on The Bump, which is their internet show on
You want to let me answer that first question?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Listen, I'm trying to oh my God, I'm away for 2 weeks and this is the crap that happens. Wow.
So what I think about it, I mean, hey, look, you know what? Hey, if that's how they get down, that's how they get down. I mean, I don't understand though how Dana Brooke is having so much problems when I was watching it. Let me tell you something. I was watching Dana Brooke on The Bump last night while I was playing Call of Duty Mobile.
Great game, by the way.
And if you're looking for somebody to play with, Law LAW0830. Just go ahead and add me, capital LAW0830. But I was looking at The Bump. I was like, damn, look at the breast on that one. Golly.
That's a two-piece, if ever
That's a two-piece in a basket right there.
For real.
A basket, not even a biscuit. He got a basket on there, yeah.
Yeah, she's listen, I've always liked Dana. She's always been that type I like, and my wife is built like that too.
Wait, what do you mean? This might get awkward.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop right now because I think she's listening right
Rose
now.
might be listening. No, go ahead. Say, put your wife over. Put your wife
putting
over.
my wife over. She's a beautiful woman.
There you go.
She's perfect in every way. She deals with my. Can I curse? I forget.
Yeah, why not? We're on Facebook.
Okay, so she puts up with my shit every fucking day of my life.
You're Schmidt.
Yeah.
You
know what?
You see that he sets you up.
I know he does.
And you fall for it every time.
I fucking do.
Beautiful. All the Ramblers love it.
I see that. But I have a type, and Beth Phoenix is my type. Like Sasha's your type. Beth Phoenix.
Actually, I don't have a type.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I do. It's called available.
If you're available, call 609-910-0687. Give a call. Let Mr. Stephen James know that you're available.
Hey, I want to get back to the point and the question that you were making for Tristan, about dating somebody in the business.
Yeah.
Do you think that because it's such a tight business where you travel with everybody, kind of like doctors and nurses, they always date each other?
Yeah, that's
Do you feel that's why more people wind up dating in the business?
I mean, from being forced to watch all these medical shows, I mean, I think
Grey's Anatomy.
I think
Yeah, right.
I think that that they all date each other. However, if I was dating somebody that was in the professional wrestling business, I think that they would understand that I'm not able to make an event like a graduation or a bar mitzvah or something because I have to go ahead and make the booking.
Yeah,
Fair point. That's why I would date somebody in the business because they understand. Hey, look, you know what? I got to travel 4 hours today. But at least, if I dated somebody in the business, I'd have somebody to come along with me. But one thing I've always did was I've always kept my significant others away from wrestling because I don't bring my significant others to my shoot job. So why am I bringing them to wrestling?
Yeah, that's very true.
Perfect sense.
That makes perfect sense. I would not, honestly, if I was in the business, I'd never dated anyone in the same industry I'm in. So I've been working in the hospital for like 13 years. And like you said, doctors and nurses, they date each other. I'm sorry. I cannot. That's like, it's like you don't eat and shit in the same place.
You don't?
No, I don't.
You've never tried to poop?
Meaning I don't eat in the bathroom at the same time I'm shitting.
You've never been drunk having an ice cream float on the toilet then. I'm telling you.
Oh.
Elvis would be proud.
Elvis would be proud. All right. Next big story that we have, Stu Bennett, FKA known as Wade Barrett, joins the NWA commentary team.
So this story that you're telling us, Brian, it's not bad news? I couldn't help myself.
I would say that was a kingly remark.
Thank you.
Oh, God.
Thank you.
Get it? Because he was also King Barrett.
Yes, I know he was King Barrett. He was also part of one of the worst factions in WWE history.
Which one was
Nexus?
that?
No, not Nexus.
The Core.
No, not the Core. No, not the Core.
That was terrible.
That was terrible, but there was one worse.
The League of Nations was not worse.
I think that was bad.
The Core was terrible.
I don't know. I did not like the Core. I did not like the Core. I didn't like anything. I liked Wade when he was on his own. So
it's a great opportunity though for Mr. Bennett.
Very great opportunity. YouTube. He's starting on December 14th on one of their big pay-per-views.
Yes. What's that? Into the Fire?
Into the Fire. Yes. So let's see because he did commentary on WWE a couple of times and he was really good on it. But we'll see.
You know, one of the hardest parts about doing commentary, and Steve, I think you'll be able to side with me.
Yeah.
Is that when you're doing commentary, Steve, you got to put the people over in the ring.
Yes.
It's not about putting yourself over, and that's one of the things you learn as a wrestler. They'd be like, "Hey, get yourself over." Yeah. So I think that wrestlers are good when you want somebody to give you that color commentary. That hey, I've been in the business. Let me go ahead and give you a little bit of inside secrets. Just like right now, Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's doing a hell of a job on Monday Night Raw.
Yes,
he is.
Samoa
Joe officially named to replace Steel Madden.
Yep.
If they granted, we all want to wrestle. That's why we go to wrestling school. We all want to wrestle. None of us have the ability that we want to go ahead and do an announcing. However, WWE called me right now and said, "Hey, I need somebody to put the ring together every week."
Yep.
I'm going to be the fastest thing on 2 feet to Stamford, Connecticut. Oh, we didn't want you to Stamford. We want you in Florida. Okay, sorry. I have to double back and
Ryan, get the rickshaw.
I'm fine with that. Jeez, call me up. I'll come and work, please.
But you're absolutely right, and it happens in in multiple sports, not just wrestling.
Yeah.
Where you have the former athlete in football. You have the former athlete as your color commentary guy. That's
Troy Aikman is one of them
the way
for
it works.
Fox.
Tony Romo is another example. The problem is, and it takes a while, to your point, wrestlers are used to putting themselves and their opponent over.
That's right.
They have to figure out how to balance that when they get behind the mic to 90% putting the other talent over and 10% putting themselves over. Because on the desk, especially if you're a personality, it's not so much with a play-by-play guy, but if you're a color commentary guy, you have to put yourself over a little bit or find your spots to be in a chain.
Yeah.
That's right. Get your shit in.
Get it in.
Get it in. All right. Speaking of getting it in.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Look at Brian.
I know.
Are we going back?
Brian.
Are we going back to Dave Batista?
Brian's the transition god.
I know,
today.
right? I go from the board to over here, and I'm like, what's going on here? I'm
You know
not
what, Brian?
awkward.
I think you do an amazing job as the talent.
Okay, cool. You're permanently hired.
I thought he was.
He's all right.
Okay.
Wait, we didn't negotiate, did we? Okay, never mind. Okay, we got to call Harry about that, which I really don't want to do.
Who?
Exactly. Speaking of big signings,
Huge
freaking signing announced to Tuesday, I believe it was. Johnny Morrison, aka Johnny Super Show, aka Johnny Impact, signs with WWE on a multi-year contract, which we do not know how many years, what the money is, but he's signed with the WWE. Your thoughts on this, Tristan?
Let me go ahead and put this into the atmosphere. John Morrison, Johnny Nitro, Johnny
Super Show,
Johnny Monday Night Raw, Johnny WWE, Johnny Entertainment.
Okay.
It's not brand new that he's with WWE. You know, it's been out for the past couple months.
Exactly.
Now WWE just wants to let everybody know that.
Yeah.
You know, what are they going to do with him? Where is he going to end up? Is he going to end up on Raw? Is he going to end up on SmackDown? Is he going to end up on 205 Live? Is he going to end up on NXT?
Wait, did 205 Live still a thing?
205 Live is still a thing.
Still a thing.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, I don't think it probably gets as much views as it did, but I mean, you know, it's not a secret. You know, WWE, it looks like that they're gobbling everybody up just so they can have everybody so everybody can go anywhere. Because John Morrison would be an amazing addition to AEW.
Yes, I agree.
Just a couple of quick stats for John Morrison: a 5-time tag team champion, a 1-time ECW champion, and a 3-time Intercontinental Championship. But if you guys had to pick, which brand would he be going to?
What's hot on WWE right now? What's hot right now is NXT. That's what's hot of the three brands right now. Where's Miz right now? He's on SmackDown, right?
Right.
Yes.
Do we want to see a reunion there, or do we want him to shuttle off onto Raw and hopefully bring back those numbers back up and bring back some great matches, like some of those spot matches?
I'll ask you this.
Yeah.
Will they be working across from each other or with each other?
Oh, they would be working across from each other most likely.
Okay, because if they're working across from each other, they both have movie careers. However, one is bigger than the other.
You could do that, yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. Like who is left for the Miz to work?
There's no one. I mean, like he's worked basically all the top stars. Has he worked Lesnar?
No.
There you go.
No.
Bam. Book it.
But I mean, if you're not going to put the belt on them, there's no rhyme or reason.
Well, why is freaking everyone working with Bray Wyatt if they're not going to put the belt on him?
Well, I mean,
look at Daniel Bryan.
I see the Miz as like, I don't see the Miz as, and I'm saying this in a very respectful way.
Okay.
You know, I do not see the Miz as, you know, as a champion, as a WWE champion. I see him as like as a good mid-card guy. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there isn't. No.
That's one of the guys that I feel that will probably have a job forever in the WWE.
He basically made the IC title a thing when Lesnar was Raw Heavyweight Champion.
If you're doing that whole entire gimmick between John Morrison and The Miz, I think the way it should work is that wherever, well, I mean, it would have to be on the brand that The Miz is on. The Miz can't just jump over, so it would have to be on SmackDown. So if John Morrison shows up on SmackDown, he cuts his promo, he's going to get a huge pop.
Yes.
However, he's been gone too long from the WWE. Most people might not know who he is.
That's true.
That's what I'm afraid of.
So you would think that where he would probably fit well is NXT because everyone knows who he is down there, number one. Number two, he can show off his parkour skills a lot more because people down there can work with those because there's been people who've done those things. Like you have Ricochet down there. You have Tyler Breeze. You have Finn Balor. You have all those down there that can work with him on that.
Brian, I think that with his style and he being John Morrison or Johnny Nitro or Johnny whatever I think that his style would work anywhere because styles make a fight.
Yeah.
You always want to put like the southpaw versus the guy with the right hand guy. You want to put two southpaws together to see what happens. You know. So I think that wherever he go, I think that he'll have a good match anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't think John Morrison's ever had a good match. For those of you guys who've been living underneath a rock, John Morrison was formerly with Impact. His wife, Taya Valkyrie, she is still with Impact Wrestling. So, I don't know that John Morrison could actually have a bad match.
No, I don't think he could either. If you go back and watch his Impact stuff, there's never been a bad match.
I think that him going to NXT would probably not be a good spot for him, only because he doesn't have a prerequisite that a lot of NXT guys have, and that's that indie cred thing.
Okay.
So he might suffer the backlash of that. That's my opinion on that.
When he left WWE, he went to Lucha Underground. He was on Impact. He was all over the independent, so he may have something to do. But yeah, 609-910-0687. Give us a shout. Let us know what you think about Morrison joining back with the WWE. If you like it, you don't. If it's a good thing, if it's a bad thing, where he should go. We're all ears. We are totally interactive here live Thursday night, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Everyone in the chat, hello, everybody.
What's up, Ramblers?
What's going on? All right, so
sorry, Brian.
No, it's you.
So let's get inside. Let's get into the weekly roundup. We're going to talk about all the weekly cool things that's happening in the realm of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a new thing that we're going to call the Wednesday Night War Tracker, to where we are keeping track of who wins. Because even though it's not a war,
is it who's going to win?
No, it's not like who's going to win.
Okay.
But it's going to be, we're keeping track because, it's fun to see the tallies.
Yeah.
Because even though right now it's a good time to be a professional wrestling fan,
yeah,
and I'm enjoying all the wrestling that I get, sometimes I think it's just too much wrestling. I just think my TV's just stuck on wrestling, but I think that we should keep track. Steve, what, or Brian, I don't know which one of you guys have the numbers. What has
the producer has the numbers.
Hey,
he does all the work for us.
So the last 2 weeks prior to this past week, NXT won in a row, 2 weeks in a row with the widest margins yet. But this week, meaning yesterday, AEW won this week by the slimmest margin so far, only by 6K viewers.
Wow.
6K viewers separated AEW and NXT this week, and AEW increased from their last week's performance by 188,000 viewers.
So let me throw this question to the atmosphere, and I want to throw it out to you guys, the Ramblers.
Okay.
Feel free to give us a call, 609-910-0687. Do you agree that ratings equal a better show, Brian?
No. I think it's the product that's mostly the product. The matches themselves are what make the show. For example, the increase from last week to this week, I think it was because you had a Jon Moxley Joey Janela match, which was the main event of last night's AEW. Your lights out basically match where it's no disqualification, no holds barred. I think that what's really brought up the 188,000 more viewers, because they saw that match is coming. More people want to see the brutality. They want to see all the hardcore stuff. So I think that's one of the main reasons AEW shot up that quickly. But NXT's been putting on some great matches without any of the hardcore stuff. So,
well, for me, I was a channel jumper.
Okay.
I was a channel jumper last night.
Okay.
So I was going back and forth, and I was switching off when I felt that something wasn't really too interesting. And don't get it wrong, I'm a WWE guy through and through.
Yeah.
I'm also a professional wrestling fan. Like the one segment on between both shows, AEW Dynamite and NXT, I was on AEW Dynamite getting ready to change the channel.
Yeah.
And then Chris Jericho came out.
Oh, let's talk. The lexicon of the champion.
So when
that
he
was great.
When he was going through that whole entire thing, I couldn't change the channel.
You couldn't.
I had a morbid obsession with what he was going to say. I wanted to know what Jericho was going to say, and I think what Jericho said was different. It shocked me when he said that pretty much think that you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, he told Jungle Boy, "You're a piece of shit," basically, and that literally just sent shockwaves. And
Could you carbon date that though? Since he's Never mind.
No, that's not Luchasaurus. Which, by the way, that was Jurassic. Yes, we get this.
Tied it.
Michael.
You know what? What if he just? What if he just like
Joking.
challenges you for your RCW title and hit you in the head right now?
He doesn't know how to play SRG.
Okay.
Let me show the camera. This is what I did this weekend. Oh, hey man,
that's what you did.
this is what I did. I won this belt.
Wow.
Look at this gold.
Like some people would have tried to get laid instead of playing a card game.
I got late that night. Please
With the belt?
With the belt.
No. Touch the belt.
I've done it.
touch the belt. Touch the belt.
So
touch the belt.
question to you guys
Yeah.
about this ratings war. Does this prove or reestablish the fact that individuals can draw again? Because the knock on pro wrestling lately, or the difficulty that a lot of promoters have had, is no one is a draw anymore. But it seems that, to your point with Jon Moxley and the match there, and to Finn Balor going there, and to the talent for Survivor Series going there, that there is a draw for the name. Do you think that that's being there you were seeing that in the ratings now?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Yes, because I watch NXT, I watch AEW. I watched AEW last night because Chris Jericho was coming out, and I was curious to what Chris Jericho had to say. I watched NXT because I want to see Keith Lee. I was surprised that Adam Cole was still in the solar system after Keith Lee sent him over the barricade last week. But I just wanted to see.
I'm very shocked that I'm very excited for next week too. Next week to see who gets the number one contender against Adam Cole. I'm praying to God it's Keith.
But so let me read you this real quick. So Vic the Brick checks in.
Das Huhn.
I don't know what that means.
This is
German?
No, that was Armenian.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know you spoke Armenian.
He's teaching me.
I listen to Harry speak Armenian all the time, and I just don't pay attention to it. If I'm being completely honest.
Because it's Harry.
Fair enough.
So Victor Brick says that Finn Balor belongs Finn Balor on NXT was a demotion. He belongs on the top storylines with the top storytellers like The Miz, Kevin Owens, or Daniel Bryan. So my question to Vic is, because Finn Balor's on NXT, is he one of the reasons why you watch NXT? Because if so, that would go along the lines of what Steve was saying. Can one person be a draw?
Yeah.
I think that for Finn Balor, it was not a demotion, but a challenge to him to lift that brand even further.
Yes.
He's synonymous, and he's known as an NXT guy.
Longest reigning NXT champion.
And they're trying to, if you want to make it seem like a lateral move and not a demotion, sending a guy like that to make it more important is definitely a good way to do that.
It definitely is.
So with Finn Balor running around and being a heel, right now you also got Seth Rollins running around, and he's like teetering on the line. I don't know what he is or what he's doing these days, but he has a bad attitude.
Listen, I've had an issue since Seth has lost. They lost Survivor Series. Since he's gone on this tirade about CM Punk wanting him to fight him, like he wants to fight CM Punk. Seth has just gotten to a point where he's getting oversaturated into Raw, and he's trying to push everything because he knows everything's just not moving forward, and he just doesn't really need to. He doesn't need to do what he's doing right now. I don't think he should turn heel. He should still stay the face of the company because Roman Reigns is on SmackDown right now. But I think Seth should be the face of the company. Hands down, he should not be turning heel right now because a heel can't be the face of the company. So, Brian, you think that right now it's not the right time for Seth Rollins to turn heel? No. Do you think he should be like John Cena and fight it forever and never become a heel? No, because he was great as the architect as a heel, but he needs to stay face for a little while just to bring the brand up a little bit more. Feud with someone who's a heavier heel, who could be a heavier heel than him. Obviously, Brock Lesnar's on Raw now, so.
But do you want to see Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins again?
I don't.
I think that this is the right time to turn Seth heel because it's happening naturally. Maybe slow play it a little bit more like they have been. I think that they've been doing a good job. If the fans are naturally going to be a heel, you said he should be the face of the company.
Yeah.
I don't think that there are any face of the company people anymore. Honestly, I think Becky Lynch is the closest thing to the face of the company that they have right now. I think everyone else is just kind of there, for lack of a better term. Yeah, Seth Rollins heel turn. I think it's the right time. I think that they're doing it pretty well.
Yeah. I'm just still in flux with everything with Seth right now, everything with Raw, the storylines and all that stuff. So I don't.
Well, hopefully people will call in 609-910-0687 and let us know their opinion.
Yeah,
on
let us know
Seth.
what you think about Seth's little heel turn right here on Raw.
Little heel turn.
Little heel turn. Here you go.
Heel turn.
Little heel
So
turn.
for me right now, I think that it's right, and I like that they're taking their time with it. They're not rushing it at all, because right now, if you listen, Seth Rollins getting booed.
Yeah, he's getting booed.
And I'm not sure if WWE is like drowning that out with some cheers. I don't know. Seth Rollins was on backstage, and he did say, that that the boo birds do come out.
And we'll talk about that
Yeah,
later.
Definitely,
later,
definitely,
yeah.
definitely.
All right. Well, talking about Boo Birds, let's talk about the Planet's champion himself, Mr. Daniel Bryan, who had a match at Survivor Series against The Fiend, which was unsuccessful in beating The Fiend. The Fiend's been basically pushing his buttons to bring back the Yes Movement. That's why I wore this shirt today, because
You're a mark.
oh hell yeah, I'm a mark. What are
Okay.
you talking about?
Hey, he says it.
I'm saying, I will admit it hands down. I'm a Jericho mark. I'm a freaking Daniel Bryan mark.
I just thought that it was laundry day.
So hold on.
If it was laundry day,
Hold
I would
on.
wear another T-shirt. And
Since it's you've put it out on social media, on your Twitter and everything else like that you and your wife are expecting twins. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
yeah.
So are you going to name one of your kids Mark?
No.
You should.
Nope.
I'm like, oh look
She's
at
gonna
that.
call and yell at you.
And
Look
name
at
the
that
other
little
one,
mark.
Question. You got question.
Ooh,
mark?
yes, question mark or Q mark.
Q mark.
Q mark, no?
I mean,
Oh my
I think
God.
that works.
I like that one. That works too.
Wow.
So you're talking about Daniel Bryan?
I'm getting roasted my first day back. Thanks, guys. Appreciate
Welcome.
it. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Well, what does this mean for Daniel Bryan as a character? What do you guys think with this kidnapping that you were talking about? The way that they handled it, ripping his hair out and all this.
I honestly I don't understand. I understand what they're trying to do.
What are they trying to do?
I think they're just trying to make Daniel Bryan the underdog again against a powerful force. Like, remember when he did at WrestleMania, where he had Randy Orton and Batista? He won the match against Triple H, and then he won to win the championship right after.
I disagree.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't think that they're trying to make Daniel Bryan the underdog. I think they're trying to get Bray Wyatt's character over as a heel, so he can he can stop getting cheered. Because I said it a couple months ago.
Yeah.
The Fiend is too damn cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's too cool.
Talked
Yep.
about that
You
last
know,
Way too cool.
So you put him up against somebody that's like uber babyface. However, the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, not
Yeah.
the Fiend. Bray Wyatt said that he was going to introduce a new member to a new face to the Firefly Funhouse. Is that Daniel Bryan? Because
Nope.
for those of you guys that are living underneath a rock, he being the Fiend came up through the ring and pulled Daniel Bryan down and started pulling out his hair. And if you ask me, I think that Daniel Bryan looks like the Cynthia doll from Rugrats.
Oh my God.
That's what I think he looks like.
I get what you're saying.
I get what you're saying too, but
I would enjoy that and it would be a harken back to when Daniel Bryan joined the Wyatt family briefly. So I think that there's a lot of connecting points there. So if they were to bring him and make him the newest member of the Firefly Funhouse, it would increase Bray Wyatt's influence and the Fiend's influence on people. I like that. I don't think obviously by Brian's Werther's original tone, he doesn't like it. He's kind of like an old man over there.
Well, listen, get off my lawn. I am the old man here.
boomer.
Okay.
Okay, boomer.
Okay. Yeah. Start that crap already. Jeez. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's too much. That's like a recycled storyline. I know pro wrestling has a lot of recycled storylines.
Yeah.
All the same.
It's all this. Yeah. Exactly. But I don't think Daniel Bryan needs to join the Firefly Funhouse to try and defeat the Fiend. Someone else is going to join him. My theory's always been Liv Morgan is going to join the Firefly.
That could be. That could be.
Like I watched SmackDown. I was like, okay, so is Liv coming out now, or is it gonna be something else? And he just didn't tease anything. He didn't say a damn word, and which is fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. But
here's the thing too, Brian.
yeah,
They never said that Daniel Bryan. They never said that Daniel Bryan is going to join.
Yeah.
In the end, he may not join.
Yeah.
You know, what if that the part of the story is that Daniel Bryan overcomes the Fiend, which gets the Fiend over as like this massive like uber heel.
yep. Speaking of Fiend as an uber heel, let's talk about one of the big things that also was big news this week. A custom title, which most WWE champions have had custom titles. You had the Rated R spinner, you had John Cena spinner, you had the Smoking Skulls, but now over in the top corner right above my head is the $6,499 custom Bray Wyatt belt. Now, can I ask Tristan something?
Go ahead.
Would you buy it?
I mean,
Is it honestly? Is it worth 64? It's basically a freaking half of someone's savings.
well, you know what? It's not a toy. It's a replica. It's a collectible.
Yes.
So for $6,000, I mean, I don't think it's bad.
I ain't doing that.
I mean, if you
know better.
Somebody on Twitter said, why the hell would somebody buy a $6,000 championship belt? The reason why you buy a $6,000 championship belt, is because you either have the credit limit or you got
a sugar mama.
or you got a sugar mama. What do you think, Brian? What do you think? It's worth it?
If I wasn't married,
Here we go.
if I was still single, I had a nice paying job, and I had the funds to do said thing, I would obviously splurge, obviously. But fortunately, I caught myself there. I'm married. There you go. I caught myself there. I'm married. I have a 5-year-old son who is a diehard Fiend fan, and he saw the belt. He's like, "Daddy, get me it." I'm like,
Yeah, $6,000.
So you're gonna buy it, right?
no,
You're gonna buy it,
absolutely
right?
no.
I think that
no.
We can convince you that you're gonna buy it.
You should buy it. Pull out your credit card right now. Go there.
I don't have a credit card. The wife has the credit card.
Your wife
Yes.
has your credit card.
Yes.
Does she have your balls too, Brian?
Well, yeah. That's where they keep the sporting goods.
Yeah, right.
Brian.
She is a swim coach.
Hey,
Right.
there you go. No balls in swimming.
Brian, if you
right?
Brian, if you had the credit card right now, would you buy it? Wow, his face is turning red.
he's totally gonna buy
His
it.
face is turning red.
He would absolutely buy it. They 100% would buy it.
Hold on, I'm gonna look. Hold on.
He's looking.
Wait, what are you looking
doing?
for?
What are you
I'm looking at the belt. You're gonna look at the belt right now.
That's a championship title.
That is.
I think that it is worth it to your point because remember, this is a special effects guru. Who
That's
made
correct.
This
Yes.
mask.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
going to be a collector's item.
That's correct. For $6,000.
$6,000.
$6,000. Yeah.
Oh, look at Brian. His eyes are lighting up. I
Brian,
think he's into it.
For $6,000, Bray Wyatt may even drop it off at your front door.
No.
He's just going to autograph it
Yeah, that's it.
to my best pal.
Brian. And your newborn baby Mark.
That's not my.
Question and Mark.
I'll tell you the names that we have picked out. Well, actually, they're Star Wars names, but anyway.
Well, maybe we can get the Ramblers to give their suggestions.
Yeah, you know what, Ramblers?
609-910-0687.
I know Rose is listening right now. I'm totally out.
So you know what?
I'm gonna hold on. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Let me look.
Go ahead.
Let me look at this.
Well, this is a radio show.
Right,
You
tell
gotta
the Ramblers
talk.
what you're
All
looking
right,
at.
so I'm on the WWE shops right now,
Okay.
looking, and I'll even show the camera. You probably can't see it, but yeah, you can see it. Yep. So that's the WWE.
Buy it.
Do it. I
Buy
think
it.
you could do it.
I'm sure you got a personal debit card,
You got
$6,000.
some money squirreled away
Go
from
ahead.
those
Okay, so-
SRG winnings.
No,
There you
God,
go.
no. I have the belt. That's all I
That's
get.
it? I'm sure the belt's worth like $5.
It's worth $125.
$125, damn.
Yeah.
Why you in the bit you'd say that thing is priceless.
Damn
Okay,
right.
it is priceless.
There you go. It's priceless.
All right, so
you
let me
make
read
your
this.
title mean something.
It's priceless because I'm the champ.
you go.
So it's a limited run. Title will ship December 20th.
Oh,
so
good.
Probably
Just
when,
in time for Christmas.
Hold on, wait. Let me just try and legitimize this.
Okay.
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 The title will ship December 20th, 2019. So it'll probably take 3 to 5 business days to get to my house.
Okay, so you'll probably get it
Hold
like...
on, hold on.
Okay.
Let me get to it.
Go ahead.
We will be in Disney from Christmas Day on. So effectively, this will get there while I'm away. What I can do is I can call my mother.
You're such a bitch.
Isolate that.
He's going to call his mother
to come pick it up. And put it somewhere.
So your wife can't see it? Look, he touched his nose.
Wait a minute. So, and his face is red, Ramblers.
Hold on.
So, Brian, where are you going to hide this belt? When you and Rose...
Remember, Rose doesn't come to the office.
When you...
My studio. She don't come to my studio.
She does not?
Nope.
Okay, because I thought you were going to leave it in your mom's house, and when you, Rose, Brian, Junior, Mark, and Question show up to the house, and like this Fiend belt's there, Rose knows that your mom is not a professional wrestling fan. So you'll have to explain. So, okay, Brian, so you're going to buy this belt. You're going to keep it in your studio.
Yep.
What if one day, Rose comes down and says, Brian...
It's locked.
What's
so
locked?
you're locked. There's a locked room in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So this is... What other things have you potentially bought in there?
That's true.
No, she knows everything that's in there. Minus, not minus anything. You know everything that's in there.
So how does she know? What does she do? Keep inventory?
No, I don't lie to her about certain things.
Except for this belt.
Except for the belt, yeah.
So this belt's going to be in your house, Brian.
Oh.
It's going to be in your house.
Oh, see, it's right here.
Just go ahead.
Here.
Just put your address in.
Press the button.
Put your address in.
I don't want to press the button.
You can do it.
They said in Men in Black, don't press the red button.
Look,
whatever
okay.
you do, don't press the button.
Brian, I think your wife is probably busy.
She is coaching.
I don't think your wife is listening.
I could get away with this.
So, Brian, if you went ahead and you purchased that belt now, you know what, Brian? Because I'm a good friend, you can ship it to my house.
Exactly. And you know what? I will offer you free counseling.
There you go.
When things might go. You know what? Maybe you're looking at this the wrong way. Maybe Rose will be supportive.
I think so.
Maybe she'll like the fact that you're going to get I don't think that's going to happen, but you should buy the belt. You should treat yourself. You deserve it. You're about to be a father of 3.
So, Brian, while you think about
that's a college payment.
While you're Brian, while you're thinking about what you're going to do with that, Bray Wyatt's belt is not one of the first custom belts. And the first custom belt that I remember in my early history is the Stone Cold Steve Austin Smoking Skull belt.
Yep.
The first one I remember, the $1 Million Championship.
Oh, yes.
Which doesn't often get talked about.
No, it doesn't.
Because it was just, never really defended. It wasn't put into any title sort of matches, really. But that's probably my favorite one. But the Brahma Bull had one, too. Which one has been your favorite?
I think the Stone Cold Steve Austin belt was probably the Smoking Skull belt was my favorite. Undertaker had a belt.
Did he?
But it was for
the limited edition one that they just made?
No, Undertaker had his own WWE championship around the same time as the Smoking Skull and the Brahma Bull, but it was only for sale. I remember seeing it in the WWF magazine.
I don't remember
It was never a belt that Undertaker wore out.
Oh, so it was like a
It's a promo
thing?
promo
thing.
Hey guys, Ramblers, make sure you post that on our timeline on our Facebook page, and so everybody can see that title. I'm interested to see it because they just released a limited edition Undertaker title as well in the shop. So here's the thing.
Oh my
God!
If you, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
If you get both of them, I'm sure that there's a package deal for you.
Why?
I don't think Rose would mind.
I don't think Rose would mind either.
It's in my cart.
Okay, so hold on. Let me tell you what some of the Ramblers are saying.
I want to hear this.
Bob Dunn thinks it's freaky. Thanks, Bob, for checking in.
That's my tag partner right there.
Vic the Brick thinks it's the worst looking belt probably ever.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that.
Vic the Brick also says that if he had $10 million in his bank account, he still wouldn't buy the belt.
Okay, Vic. Okay.
Hey, Vic, if you got $10 million laying around in your bank account, there's an I Love Tristan fund that likes to get donated to every couple times a year. But yeah, so Brian, what you doing?
I'm looking for this Taker belt.
Don't look for the Taker belt.
No.
The Fiend. A bundle deal.
No, I don't think it's a bundle deal. But the Fiend belt is is there, and Tristan can look at it right now.
Oh wow!
It's right there.
It's really in your cart.
It's in my cart.
It's in the cart. You
cart.
got to go for it.
Brian, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, standing up for what you believe is right. Your inner Hulkamaniac is proud.
I hated Hulk Hogan.
You see what we call this? Where
you know who I liked, and Dave doesn't like him. So
what we call this is called where Steve and I come from. We are putting the battery in your back, and that's what good friends do.
Yep.
They put the battery in your back,
strapping a rocket on you.
God.
You know. And we're pushing you to the moon.
So both you will pay for my divorce lawyers too, right?
Look,
Brian.
I know a very good one. I used it. It's pretty cheap.
Brian, if you need a divorce lawyer, just sell the belt.
There you go. Well,
So what's down? Oh my God.
Oh, okay. Joe Loman checks in. What's up,
hi,
Joe?
Hey, Joe.
Joe says that for $6,500, Brian, you can buy hair.
Oof. Hey, let me know if that's the deal, because I might get in on that
thanks,
myself.
Joe.
Let me tell you something, Brian.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe, for checking in. Brian, you could probably go down to Harlem, and you can probably buy yourself some bundles.
There you go.
Yeah?
All of y'all don't know what he's talking about.
Right. Some bundles of hairs.
There you go.
I just don't.
Some of it might even be human.
Here's the thing, though. If I buy said belt, okay, let's talk.
When
I
My
buy
mother
this.
always says speak into existence.
Okay,
Yes.
so when I buy this belt,
Which is going to happen.
which is going to happen, my son will have this belt too, so it'll be passed on to generation
Exactly.
to generation.
There you go.
My son already has something coming of the Fiend for Christmas. As
What is he
well,
getting?
too. I'm not. He listens. Why am I going to tell him that?
So now he knows he's got something from the Fiend coming. Way
There
to
you go.
Well,
Dad.
he already knew.
Oh, okay.
He's smart.
He is a smart
unlike
kid.
me right now. And it's a collectible, and
It's an investment.
It's an investment, a $6,500 investment that has shipping, and it's done by Tom Savini, who's done
All I'm saying
all
is
these freaking horror movies.
in 10 years,
This is gonna be worth
it could be worth, 50, 60 grand. You could buy a house with that belt. See, that's how you should phrase it after you buy the belt to Rose. This is an investment. We're going to buy it. It'll be a down payment on the house in a couple of years, and
There you
it'll
go.
be fine.
There you go.
You got to think outside
and he's done
the box.
Bray's mask. Oh my God!
You know what, Brian?
We believe in you.
I think that you should do it. Let's go ahead and do it. Just do it right now.
It's in there already.
Can we get a yes chant in the chat? Do you think that Brian should
crap.
do this?
Huskus is now is a stuffed animal on the.
No, you're not.
Brian, that's called
stuffed
deflecting.
Animals, yeah.
Yeah, it's
You're
called
deflecting
Yeah.
from the issue.
How much is the stupid stuffed animal?
$35.
So you have $6,000 plus $35.
I might as well
No.
just add the freaking lantern that's there too.
How much is the lantern?
$100.
Why not?
Why
You know
not?
what?
Okay, bam, done. Here you go. Boom.
Maybe it's a bundle pack. You bought the belt?
No, I haven't bought I haven't checked out yet.
Oh, you just added.
I'm adding stuff.
Wow.
So the lantern's gonna go in my house. I already have it feng shui ready to go.
Is it a functional lamp?
Let's look, shall we? I'm so done. I'm doomed.
What are you doomed with?
I'm just doomed.
You're not doomed, Brian.
I'm doomed. Yeah.
Look,
It is
hold on.
functional. Yes.
Let me look at the chat. I do not see Rose in the chat, so I think you'll be okay.
Okay. All right.
Joe says that you'll be leaving the belt at the divorce attorney's office.
There you go.
Maybe he's a wrestling fan as well too.
That's possible, but you know what?
Alimony in the bank match.
There you go. There you go.
All right, so we're gonna take a break while I try and mull over this. If you want to call 609-910 over the break, after the break, call in, try and convince me to, do this or not do this.
Try to convince you, Brian.
You're convinced.
I'm
It's
convinced.
happening.
Brian, you're going to do it. I'm going to
just
talk to you. Brian, I'm going to talk to you in the break, and when we come back, we have so much more to talk about. We're going to see if Brian has his balls. I'm Tristan Law. He is Brian Schmidt. This is Royal Ramble Radio, and we'll be right back. We're back. I'm Tristan Law, and that's my pal Brian Schmidt, and this is Royal Ramble Radio. Before the break, Ramblers, we were talking about Dana Brooke sliding into Batista's DMs, and we were talking about the Fiend's $6,000 WWE Championship, and Brian, you were going to purchase this. However, I have somebody on the phone who is going to help you make this decision. Hey, Rose?
No.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, Ramblers. For those of you who don't know who this is Rose, Brian's wife. Rose, congratulations on your twins. I love the news. But your husband right here said that he was going to purchase the $6,000 Fiend belt plus a $100 lantern. What do you think about that, Rose?
So I think that if I check my bank account and there's $6,000, out of it, he might be going home with you tonight, Tristan.
Oh no! Look at Brian's face.
I guess I'm crashing with Tristan tonight.
Wait, you pressed buy on that already?
Yeah.
Wow. So Rose. So what? If Brian bought the $6,000 belt, maybe it could be like his Christmas gift for like the next 12 years?
Yeah, no, he's not buying the $6,000. I told you he's going to come home with you if he buys the $6,000 belt.
I did it.
You did it?
He said that it was an investment in the future.
Oh, okay. So again, then I guess he's not going to come home tonight.
Oh no!
Because
No, you did it.
So, Rose, think about it like this.
Yeah.
I think
Tristan,
that.
hold on. Let me explain something real quick, Tristan.
Go ahead.
Are you married?
No.
Okay. Have you ever been married?
In my dreams to Sasha Banks, yes.
Oh no!
No, Jesus Christ.
Okay, so fine, no.
Okay.
I've never been married. Fine, no.
Happy wife, happy life.
She doesn't sound too happy right
No,
now.
I know she's not happy.
Just saying.
So
Right.
I got to make it up
Yeah.
to her somehow.
But what about happy Brian is not crying?
That's great.
So, Brian, if you go ahead and get that belt,
I could legitimately say this is for Brian too.
you know what? I think it's for Brian and Rose, because your husband Brian is such a mark. I think that he said that he's going to name one of your kids
No,
Mark.
I did not.
He said it.
I did
Yeah,
not.
no. See, I heard that conversation too. That's not happening.
Oh wow, damn Brian.
Did not say
Damn,
that.
Brian.
And I'm quite jealous. I have to say that Tristan watches the medical shows, whether forced or not.
Wow. Okay, I'm
It
gonna
is.
get
Watch the
I'm gonna
medical
get buried
shows.
more here. What the hell? Wow.
Wow, Brian.
I sat there and watched
You know,
medical
Brian?
shows with you.
Brian, I think if you
I watched
Yeah.
Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman with you for all 13 seasons.
Oh God!
Brian,
All 13 seasons.
Brian, I feel that if you spent the time watching these shows with your wife,
I
maybe
did.
she'd let you buy the belt. But hey,
Someone let me
Rose.
my belt.
But hey, Rose, thank you very much. If Brian is smart, Brian would probably return that belt. Rose, I appreciate
No
you calling.
returns.
And congratulations on your big news. Brian put it all over social media, said that was great. And Brian, you can't name the kid Mark. Thanks, Rose. Wow, Brian.
You're in trouble.
Wow. So you better hit.
You got
return.
me in trouble.
I didn't. You got yourself in trouble.
How did I get myself? You
Look,
guys,
Brian,
you guys egged me on.
I was not holding your phone.
Personal responsibility, bud.
609-910-0687. Give us a phone call or sound off in the chat and let us know what you think. If we egged Brian on. Brian, I didn't egg you on.
You both egged me on.
didn't happen.
You did.
No.
I'm sorry. That was just that was pure pressure
He
right
was talking
there.
about Tristan was talking about the medical shows.
Yep.
and
Do you
I-
understand when me and Rose first started dating?
Uh-huh.
I watched Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, and if you're old like me, you know that show. It was like Jane Seymour. I have no idea.
How old is that show, you think?
Mid 90s.
Wow.
1874.
So
Basically.
imagine if you had the Fiend belt for 20 years.
Right?
You know what you should do? You should have put your foot down on that phone, Brian. You should have put your foot down and said, you know what, woman? Don't say that.
Don't say that.
Don't
No,
say
no,
that.
no, no,
Don't say
no,
that.
no, no,
Don't say that. Because like you'd have to move to like Mars or something.
You're not married, so you don't say that.
Could be Venus.
Yeah. Shoot, you better move behind the sun.
Oh.
Shoot.
I'll get sunburned. Look at this.
Damn right you get sunburned.
Oh, my
but at least you
God.
won't have to fear the wrath of Rose.
Wrath of Rose.
You know
coming soon
Coming soon.
to a house near Brian.
I'm done. I'm not going to PAX tomorrow. I'm not doing. Oh my God, I'm done.
So,
I'm
Brian,
done.
let's move on for a little bit because
you guys-
I think that you're a little bit too stressed out right now.
Shame.
After Survivor Series, on the WWE Network, Stone Cold Steve Austin had the Broken Skull sessions with The Undertaker.
Yes, he did.
I think that was one of the coolest things that we were able to see in a long time. You know, I put it on my Twitter at The Real Big Tris that if you had told me that Stone Cold Steve Austin, 20 years ago, you told me Stone Cold Steve Austin would be an interviewer on a podcast, A, I would have told you you're smoking crack because a smart podcast doesn't exist.
Correct.
And B, no, Stone Cold Steve Austin is a beer-drinking, ass-kicking machine. However, we got to hear Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin talk and learn more about the Undertaker as a person. Steve, can we get clip one, please?
He's like, all right, kid, lighten up, kid. So I'm gonna give him, kind of the push off and back out, right? Well, when I do, I kind of push off and I kind of, I clip him in the chin a little bit, right?
Kind of like he's thinking you snubbed him.
He don't know me from Adam,
Yeah.
right? We tie up again, right? Boom. I grab an arm, right? So I'm standing there with a standing arm bar.
And you just grabbed the arm.
Yeah, I just
He
grabbed
didn't
it.
tell you to grab the arm.
I just grabbed it, right? And I don't know how I got so stupid, because I really. So he's about to shoot me off, and I yell clothesline.
That's Taker's first match you ever had with
Bruiser Brody.
Bruiser Brody. And you've been training people down in ECPW.
Yeah,
You're helping out.
I work with some of the newer
You work
guys.
with some of the
yes.
guys. So in a match, their first match, would you let them call it?
No.
Because that's what he kind of did right there.
No, it's my psychology. It's like no, it's if I'm locking up with you and we're going I worked a match with somebody a couple weeks ago and the person was like brand new to the business and we kept that match like simple pimple. We weren't deviating from the plan. We were going to stick with exactly what we were supposed to do. There was no left turns, there were no right turns. We were just going to do this. And if we had to go down the road to where Undertaker and Bruiser Brody were going to, I definitely would have went ahead and would have slowed him down. Like, hey, look, brother, like chill. But then sometimes we just need to knock them silly just to get their bearings back. But no, when I heard that, Brian, that popped me because I'm like, my eyes bugged out. Like, yo, Undertaker, are you crazy? Like, what are you doing? Like, no, what are you doing grabbing the arm?
Yeah,
like, yo, relax.
Relax. It's your first thing. And in part of that interview, he also said that he's bigger than him. He should dictate what's going on. Bruiser basically took him after you heard that, he basically freaking kicked him right in the head and took him outside to the ring, because back in the day you had that table on the outside of the ring where the commentators were and all that stuff.
Right.
So he took the chair and hit Taker with the chair through the ring. Through the table.
Yes.
So basically putting him through his bumps right there.
It's refreshing to see a guy like The Undertaker, who gets so much respect and who's been around for so long, talk about something like that where even he screws up. To see how long and how far he's gone, those nerves, and to be like, yeah, he thought I was potatoing him. Like, sending the Yukon Golds over. Hey, everyone's got a price.
There was something else. Play clip 2, please.
Wait, we're talking about one of the boys.
Okay, one guy. I don't know.
Jake.
Really?
Not so much in my delivery or what I said, but he had such insight into characters.
Jake the Snake
Jake
Roberts.
the Snake Roberts, man. Brilliant mind.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, the insight that he gave me in how to put that gimmick together. And he would tell me, like, what he would listen to Pink Floyd, or he would listen to Black Sabbath.
So one of the things that they say about promos is that, when you talk really softly, people will have to listen a little bit more to what you're saying, because you're not talking really loud to where everybody can hear. And Jake the Snake, oh my God, Jake the Snake was one of those guys that was never a WWE champion, but like, he's the guy that's like going to be a Hall of Famer, like, that people will be talking about for years. He had the style to where he took a move like the DDT, Jake the Snake Roberts, and made it, popular. Now knowing that Jake the Snake Roberts put a little bit of polish on the Undertaker, it makes you look now at Jake the Snake as like, Jake the Snake is almost like what, a wrestling god?
Basically.
As it pertains to promos, he's considered the guy who kind of helped revolutionize promos for a lot of people. A guy like CM Punk points to him as a guy who taught him that, to your point, speak clearly, speak slowly, make them savor every single word. Because if you're like Ultimate Warrior, just going super fast, and not really saying anything, even if he was saying something that wasn't about loading the spaceship with the rocket fuel, you wouldn't have understood it anyway.
But at that time though, like you were saying, when it came to promos, everything was like, oh, let me tell you something, brother, and mean my God, Gene. Like these guys were yelling and talking really loudly, but
promos are probably that if you wrestlers are salesmen. You got to sell yourself, you got to sell your match, you got to sell your paper. You're constantly selling.
Yeah.
Even in the ring. That's why they call it selling.
Yeah. 609-910-0687. Play clip 3, please, sir.
That's the $1 million question. I guess it could have been. The thing with this match, though, not everybody knows. Somewhere within the first 5 minutes of this match, I get concussed.
I never knew that.
I don't even remember this night. I mean, I've watched it back now. I obviously know. My last memory that I can definitively tell you happened at about 3:30 in the afternoon when my wife came backstage and we had a conversation. That's the last thing that I remember on my own of that day.
Obviously, Taker's referencing to the WrestleMania 30 match that he had with Brock Lesnar, which ended the streak. If you really listen to this, he got very emotional because he didn't know what was going on after like 4:30. And further in the interview, he basically said that he was at the hospital, and every 30 minutes or so, the nurses are coming in to check on him, see what time it is, going through all these lists of things to check for concussion. And there was at one point where he was talking to his wife after the nurse came in and says, "Where am I?" And she wouldn't tell him because she was really concerned about him. And to be perfectly honest, someone at that, well, he's, how old is he? Like 50?
He's up there.
Yeah, he's up there.
He's in the mid-50s.
Someone like that, his body's still not really, prepping this, but it's just, so
does that take some of the heat off of Brock Lesnar?
I don't think it does.
Because of the concussion, maybe they had to make that call? Maybe the original plan wasn't to have, that happen?
I don't know if the ref or Lesnar knew that he had a concussion. I don't.
That's a hard thing to really tell for a lot of people. I mean, if you're in a contact sport like wrestling or football, sometimes you can tell, there are obvious signs for it, but sometimes you can't tell. If it's a mild concussion, people, they don't feel it until the next day.
Yeah.
Or they do something like they walk down the stairs or they bend down to lift something up, and then it's like wah wah wah, it hits you. That's what's happened with my concussions.
You see, for me, I wrestled a match maybe like 10, 11 years ago, and I jumped off the top rope, and
you do that,
and the guy was supposed to hit me with a knee, but I turned my head and it hit me in the temple. Oof. Honestly, I don't remember the end of that match. I had to watch a video to see the end of that match. So the lights were on, but nobody was home. So I mean, getting concussed, in a wrestling match is a lot different than, in my opinion, than football or any other sports, because, in professional wrestling, you're performing. Imagine being a movie star and you get a concussion and you're trying to, remember your lines, but you can't remember your lines because, your brain doesn't work. You don't even know where you are. Wait a minute, how
did that happen?
Yeah, what's going on here?
How cool was it, though, to see Mark Calloway in a position that you never thought you would see, talking about these things openly?
Well, the funny thing was, he did say in the interview and stuff, when he worked when he was part of the gimmick, he worked the gimmick as much as he could. Not always in the the coat.
He always wore black.
He always wore black. At the time of when he was doing Taker, everything was black in his closet, always.
It was so interesting to hear also about the relationship between Stone Cold and The Undertaker, where it was, they were friendly, but they didn't run in the same circles.
Yeah.
Austin, as he always says, was a lone wolf. He didn't really interact with a lot of guys, and Taker had, the what were they called? BSK. It was like Bone Street Crew or something.
Bone Street Crew.
I think that's
like
what
that.
It was. Bone Street Crew.
Yeah.
And it was mostly based on dominoes because they all like to play dominoes together.
Yeah. People call dominoes bones.
Yeah. Rikishi was a member there. But it's so interesting. Two guys at the top of their game. One a locker room leader, considered the greatest locker room leader in the history of WWE, and the top draw in the history of WWE. And both of them just kind of friendly. I always found that strange, especially traveling on the road with people 300, some odd days a year.
Well, there was one point when they were both in the territories. He called up Taker and said, "Let's roll together."
Yeah.
But the problem was Taker was a heel at the time. Austin was a face.
That's
so
right.
From what I know, from what Tristan's educated me in the business, is faces and heels don't roll with each other in the same car.
Nah, keep the gimmick going.
Exactly.
I don't want to go watch a Harry Houdini show, even though I can't. I don't want to watch Harry Houdini on Netflix, or David Copperfield on Netflix and learn how to do the magic tricks, or for me, suspend the disbelief.
Yeah.
And, heels, and back in the day, Steve and Brian, baby faces and heels used to travel different.
Yeah.
They never used to ride within the same car, just to keep the gimmick going.
Separate dressing rooms, everything.
Yeah. So I mean, that's pretty much how it was. Do we got one more clip?
No, that was the end of the clips.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
so 609-910-0687. Give us a call here live on Facebook.com/Royal Ramble Radio. and RoyalRambleRadio.com, 7 to 9 every single night. Every Thursday nights.
Who's another guy who hasn't been used, real quick before we move on, who you would like to see open up like that? Maybe someone whose story hasn't gotten out there yet. Who would you like to see on the next Broken Skull Challenge, tipping back shots at Jack Daniels with Stone Cold?
Well, obviously we already know who the second person is. It's already been announced.
Who is it?
Goldberg.
Really?
Okay, I didn't hear that, but
From what I saw in the dirt sheets, it's Goldberg's the second one.
Brandon's the dirt sheet.
It's rumor and innuendo. Excuse me,
Mark.
Okay. That's right.
He told me that. How am I the mark when the pro wrestler tells me rumor and innuendo? Use those
You know where rumor and innuendo comes from, right? We'll tell you after the show.
in your pants.
Hey,
but
who do you want to see? Who do you want to see?
honestly, oh wow, just sitting there shooting the breeze with Austin,
Yes.
just sipping back, taking a drink. Honestly, why are you taking my pen?
Because you keep clicking it.
Okay, all right, sorry. Oh boy, who would you put there?
Who would I put there?
Yeah.
I would love to see Jake the Snake. I think that would be a great deep dive about a guy who always knows how to sell himself, always knows how to talk about himself, but we don't really know a lot of his story. His father was a wrestler. His grandfather was a wrestler. His brother was a wrestler.
Who you wrestled?
His sister was a wrestler
Really?
as well.
I did wrestle his brother.
Yep.
And so knowing more about that whole family, and sure, there's a lot of tragedy and a lot of strange stuff that happens, but I think getting people to open up, if you want this to be more about the people, more about the shoot than the work per se,
Yeah.
I think that would be an excellent guy who would know how to do that justice.
Are we going to talk about current, or are we going to talk
Anybody.
about anybody?
Anybody.
Anyone you think that Stone Cold would have.
Brian, you've even stalled and still don't have an. All right, let me stall for you some more.
I'm thinking. Let me think.
The person that I think is the most captivating person.
Sasha Banks?
No.
Wow.
To me personally, the most captivating person in professional wrestling, who I want to know so much more about, and I hope that they're actually documenting this person and getting stories from this person, is Vince McMahon.
Wow, yeah.
You know what? I kind of was leaning towards Vince about this.
You see that?
No, I'm being straight about this.
Co-opted.
I thought about it, and there's a couple of people in my head, and I was thinking of people who are still with us and people who are not with us. I would love to hear Dusty and Steve Austin go back and forth.
That would have been definitely a lot of
That
fun.
would be the one I would want to hear. That would be the dream right there, because to hear what Dusty Rhodes would want to do, to hear with the way he was like his thought processes between everything that he does. Vince, because Vince is Vince. Like Vince versus Austin was a big part of my wrestling history back in the 90s. So I would love to see those two go back and forth and just have a good old time. Just shoot the proverbial shit.
Repartee.
Repartee.
You see, for me, I really don't give two craps about the Vince versus Austin. What I really give a crap about is the man, the brain, how the brain in Vince McMahon's head works.
Okay.
How he came in and thought so big and took the business from everybody else, and how he went around and bought up all these different territories and put people out of business.
Yeah.
But speaking about people that are out of business and probably in the business, but out the business still, Seth Rollins has been on WWE Backstage, and him and CM Punk have been having some verbal interactions on there.
Oh,
so
they've been going back and forth on the Tweety machine.
right. So you've had Seth Rollins on Backstage, right? But no CM Punk.
Shocker.
You've had Triple H on Backstage, but no CM Punk. You had CM Punk on Backstage, and no Seth Rollins or Triple H. From the wise words of Hurricane, what's up with that?
Honestly, I think Punk's not ready to face. I don't think Punk's ready to talk to Triple H face to face. I think this is
Bullshit.
But really,
What do you
Yes.
What do you mean? Wait, let's slow this
Okay,
down.
sorry, go ahead,
What
go
do you
ahead.
mean by
Let me
that?
take my bullshit back. Hold on.
yeah, you better take that bull back.
I mean, because I was about to throw that flag too. I was interested.
I still think he's still a little upset at how everything went down at the end of his run with WWE. I think that still kind of is there. I don't think he's ready to. From what we heard from him about how his contract was terminated with WWE, meaning he got the text message from Trips, from what he said. He got a text message on his wedding day, something, I don't remember how it was done. but I think he's still a little
Salty?
little hurt from it too. So I don't think he really wants to. And he's not an employee of WWE. Let's put that out right there. He's an employee of Fox Entertainment, not WWE at all. WWE has the show, but he's employed by Fox for backstage, not WWE.
Okay.
So I don't think it's. I don't think Punk wants to be around either of them right now.
Yeah, okay, so can I
you can call it. Go ahead.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Okay.
I don't think that's the case. I mean, maybe it could have been some kind of travel, travel issue where CM Punk's not able to get to California to do the show. I don't know. Maybe he got better things to do on a Tuesday night. Like maybe being his wife or read a book. I don't know. Than to be in California on WWE backstage.
Okay.
But all jokes aside, let me take all the jokes out. I don't think that CM Punk is afraid, which would make him not want to be on the show. I think that, it could have just been a schedule conflict. But you know what? What's one thing I always say, Brian? Brian doesn't know.
Pass the taquitos?
Nope.
Yeah, pass the taquitos.
I say that everything in wrestling is a work.
Yep.
And when they tell you that it's a shoot,
it's a work.
It's still a work. What if we got something going down to where Triple H and Seth Rollins are going to be in one corner with Seth Rollins having Triple H in his corner, and then you have CM Punk.
Yeah.
We're not going to get it now because if we're working towards a match with them, there's no need for us to go ahead and put that out in the atmosphere now.
Right.
Because if they give it to us. If they give us the CM Punk and Seth Rollins for dessert, then what do we have for dinner? I'm sorry, for appetizer, then what do we have for dinner?
Yeah.
To your point, I agree with that. I think that they're purposefully leaving them separate to build the anticipation of wanting people to see their interaction. And what season is coming up? That's right, WrestleMania season. So if you want people to watch your new property, you've got all these people who are coming back because as they do for WrestleMania season. What better way than right after the Royal Rumble have a WWE backstage where they face off or they do the promo school segment or something there. It gets more eyeballs to it. And then if there's a match, which I don't think CM Punk will ever step into a wrestling ring again unless
I don't think he will either.
Unless it's financially and creatively fulfilling
for
him, then it's got to be at WrestleMania.
But there's been some ratings dip too. Let's not forget about that. The ratings went up 17K from the Triple H episode.
Yes, it went down.
It went down for Triple H, and it went back up for Seth.
Yeah, it went down with Punk, after Punk.
Yep.
So Ryan Satin, one of the personalities on that show, he also hosts like his own podcast and a bunch of other wrestling related things. He said on Twitter, what do people think of the whole entire deal of WWE backstage? And personally, I said I like the show.
I like it too.
However, I cannot remember to set my DVR for the life of me to go ahead and
because he's asleep.
To go ahead and watch it because by 11 o'clock I'm asleep.
It is in a very strange.
It's in a weird position, but I think they're just testing it right now. See if they can get the viewers at that time. And maybe bring it down.
You got to figure they're averaging about 150 to 200K viewers, which isn't great, but it's not bad. Yeah, this isn't the +7 on DVR and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's still pretty good numbers for a show that's creating content off of someone else's content.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I like the show WWE Backstage because it's providing people extra jobs, and it's giving people. It's giving WWE additional content. Who do you owe?
Is he saying, were you holding up a sign that said, "I'm sorry, Rose"? Oh, no.
Are you serious?
Did she text you to do that?
No.
Oh, no.
No.
You're sorry because you bought the title?
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I am not sorry at all.
Oh, heel turn in the marriage. He's not.
Wow.
Isolate that.
Brian, I'm not.
You see this? You see what this is? Champ. Priceless. I can do whatever I want.
Brian, I'm not going home tonight. So where you sleeping?
Not with me. Sorry. There's plenty of room under the console here.
Yeah, you could definitely sleep underneath there.
It's gonna have to.
I'll call my mom. Anyway.
You see, that's where you got to deliver the belt.
There you go. What if you got the Fiend belt and you could defend that in SRG Universe?
No, that's not an official belt.
No.
Speaking of
Jeez.
match.
What? He's so flustered now because of the call from Rose. He's like, I bought this title. I don't know where I'm going to sleep. Hopefully it comes in a nice cardboard box that you can prop up as. It's my summer home.
I still have keys. She can't change the lock without me doing it.
What? Oh, so you're trying to say because your wife is a woman, she doesn't know how to change a lock?
No, because I have to call the landlord.
Wow. No, I think, Steve, that Brian was trying to say, that because it's his wife, she doesn't know how to change a lock.
I think so too.
But Ramblers, this is Royal Ramble Radio. I'm Tristan Law. He is Brian Schmidt.
Divorced, newly divorced.
Give us a phone call. Give us a phone call, 609-910-0687, or continue to participate in the chat.
Can I just say something? My mother-in-law is watching now too, so I guess she's what Rose has told everyone in the family what I've done.
Oh no!
Oh wow!
You are a pariah.
Ooh, maybe a mom should call in.
Oh God, no! Please don't! No, for the love of God!
Your mom should definitely call in.
No. The worst would be my mother-in-law. She should not call in at 609-910-0687. Please, Lynn, do not call in.
Your mom and mother-in-law should call in like on the three-way because I'm sure Steve and I have some questions for them.
Oh, of course. Of course we do. So if they do, 609-910-0687. But we wanted to talk about specifically, you being in the pro wrestling business as the athlete on the athlete side. We wanted to get your take on something we call...
this is going to be Tristan Law's Match of the Week.
Match of the Week.
Match of the Week.
So with Match of the Week, Ramblers, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take one match that I really liked for the week, and I'm just going to pretty much talk about it. So the match that I'm choosing for this week is going to be the match that happened at Starrcade. It was on the WWE Network. I encourage you to go ahead and watch it. It was for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Becky and Charlotte in one corner versus Bayley and my girl Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross and the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, the Kabuki Warriors. Now, let me tell you, when I heard that I was getting that match, I was probably happier than happy because you had 8 of WWE's top women in the ring at one time. And let me say top, if there's a top 10, that's only 8. You could probably stick Rhea Ripley and maybe probably stick a 10th person there. But either way, you had those 8 girls in the ring. And let me tell you that the business that those girls put on was amazing. Just watching Charlotte, star through and through. I've said this plenty of times. Charlotte sometimes is head and shoulders above other ladies in the professional wrestling industry. The Kabuki Warriors and Charlotte had a match the next night. I was thinking that the finish was going to be on Charlotte, and then maybe the next night Charlotte would win. However, it didn't end like that. They went over on Alexa Bliss, was it?
Nikki Cross
Nikki
tapped
Cross
out to the Oscar lock.
Right, so Nikki Cross tapped out to the Oscar lock, and because of that, the next night it still kept Charlotte alive because Charlotte put the Kabuki Warriors over it. Granted, it was a 2-on-1 match. I don't understand why it was a 2-on-1 match. Like Charlotte couldn't phone a friend and say, "Hey, look, hey girl, I might need you to come fight with me tonight." But she went in there by herself. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
But Charlotte still looked good the next night in that match. So my match of the week this week is going to be Becky and Charlotte versus the WWE Tag Team Champions, the Kabuki Warriors versus Bayley and Sasha versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, with the Kabuki Warriors remain the champions, remaining strong.
So here's the question I have to you. Do you think Charlotte should be a tag team competitor going forward? Now, here's the thing. They've been booking her in these matches that has her in tag team matches with random tag team partners. And it just doesn't seem like that she is into it. Like, you kind of look at her expressions and stuff when she's walking through, she's like, I got to do this crap again.
So, Brian, being a tag team wrestler is a lot different than being a singles wrestler.
Okay.
One of the things that I prefer tag team wrestling because I've done singles wrestling so much. I was a tag team wrestler for maybe like the first year when I started wrestling, maybe a year and a half when I was wrestling. I was a tag team wrestler. Yeah. So I got my fair share of tag team wrestling. Mm-hmm. So it's different. It may not be her thing. Some people don't like tag team wrestling.
Yeah.
Somebody like Charlotte, anybody that's her tag team partner is probably going to play second fiddle to her. unless it's somebody like, Becky Lynch, because Becky Lynch is a star in her own right. But if you put somebody like, I don't know, like a Charlotte and, a Charlotte and Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross is always going to be Robin. She'll never be She'll never be Superman. It'll never be Superman and Batman.
She should be Superman.
So, maybe one of the things that she's not into it, but however, maybe the ultimate story is not Charlotte being a tag team wrestler. Maybe the ultimate story is the Kabuki Warriors separating, and it'd be Charlotte versus Asuka. However, the Kabuki Warriors did have different music this week, so I mean,
they did?
Yes, WWE invested in them a little bit.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know how much it costs to put a new song on, but maybe they're not separating the Kabuki Warriors. However, there's still so much more to come and so much more to learn.
Yeah. I agree.
I think that the tag team division is, you have to look at Bayley and Sasha, the way that they had to give them some sort of holding pattern for a while to make sure that they had something to do that made them seem important to help elevate those titles. Right now, there's only room at the top for one person, and Charlotte has kind of been overexposed a lot in the single scene. So if they pushed her in a tag team direction with someone, sure, someone will play second fiddle to it. But if you're working a Mega Powers Explode type situation with her, then I could see it work. She had an excellent match against the Kabuki Warriors on Raw.
Yeah, she did.
With the handicap match, which I thought was fantastic. Now, Tristan, question for you with this match of the week. It's not just going to be the matches that happened this week. It's all time, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it's
whatever your recommendation for people to watch is.
Okay, so I mean, definitely I will give people a match that they should watch every single week. Next week on Ramble Radio, I will come back with one of my favorite matches of all time. My favorite matches of all time is what I will come back with and give people an idea of what they need to watch.
Alrighty, Royal Ramble Radio. Thank you for calling. Who is this? Hello?
What the heck are y'all doing?
Joe? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, I can't hear. Who is this?
It's Joe.
Is it Joe?
It is
What,
Joe.
Brian, you can spend $6,500 on a new belt. Maybe you need hearing aids.
You calling to yell at me, too? Oh, Jesus.
No, I'm not calling it.
I'm getting text messages from my mother right now.
Oh, really?
Legit. I'm getting text messages.
Pick up eggs on the way home?
No.
You're going to be living there.
What is she saying? Hey, bring your balls from Rose and come stay tonight?
No, she's like, yeah, what the hell is your problem? Why would you spend $6,500 when you got twins on the way? I'm like,
it's not smart.
So the twins could have a belt.
Look,
why not?
why are you going to do something when that belt looks like something that a woman who's into SMN would sit on?
Oh, wow.
Now just get that image inside your head for the rest of the night. And just think
thanks,
about
Joe. I
that
appreciate
it's
it.
in my head.
before you ever purchase it.
Oh, it's already been purchased. It has.
It's already been purchased.
So, Joe, it's Tristan. Would you purchase that belt for yourself?
My buddy Tristan. No, I'm definitely not doing that. And you know what? Hold on. Let's get the expert in on this one. Wait, my wife's running away. Martha, would you let me buy a $6,500 belt that's all it is just looks like somebody's face right over my crotch? She said that after if I can get a punch in the face after that, then she can go ahead and get that. So,
Hey.
I'm going to get punched somewhere, but not in the face.
So hold on.
But she's 6'6", 240, so that...
Hold on, Joe.
What is she? Hold on. What is she going to do? Punch her purse?
She's gonna punch her purse, all right.
So, Joe, let me say this though. So, I mean, it sounds like your wife Martha is a very nice woman.
She seems like a very nice woman.
And she would let you.
She's got to put up with me. Of course, she's great.
And I feel that Martha would let you purchase this championship. All you gotta do is get punched in the face. So my question is, you think your wife punches hard?
Oh yeah, she definitely is going to punch me hard. She's going to punch me. She's going to get a chain and try to punch me like Piper would, and I'd have absolutely nothing, no recourse for it whatsoever because I'd have a stupid daggone belt around my waist.
It's not even going around my waist. It's going to be displayed in my office.
Wait, hold on. Are you going to conduct a legitimate business in that office, or is this
no?
like one
It's
of
my
those back
studio
office
where
things, like Uncle Tony's Keno in the back of, in the back of the shops?
It's basically it's my studio where I record stuff. So it would not be visible to people. I would bring it on the show, but that's
so.
it.
Wait a minute, Brian. Wait a
minute. You're going to display something that's not visible to other people?
That you spend $6,000 on.
I have no place to put it in the house.
So why did you buy it?
Because it's an impulse buy.
Impulse buy. Wow. So you're probably the person that goes to Walmart and buys the entire row of candy because it's an impulse buy.
By the way, Martha just said definitively, no, I'm not getting the belt.
Oh.
Joe, put Martha on the phone.
Put her on the phone.
Hold on, no, she hates this stuff. She doesn't want to get on the phone. Martha, do you want to get on the phone? No, she just looked at me and said that, wait, since what? Unless it's John Cena, no.
She can't see me, so yeah.
Boo.
Well, Joe, I appreciate
Yeah,
you.
Martha, Martha, technically he's on the other end of the line. You can't see him. Same thing with John Cena.
He told the joke.
Hey, well, Joe, I appreciate
Bad jokes, man.
Yeah.
Joe, I appreciate you calling in. We're about to keep the show rolling. I appreciate you calling in and listening every weekend.
Absolutely, guys.
Maybe
You
in
guys take it
2000,
easy, all
maybe in
right?
2020, I can probably hang out with you again.
Can I come stay with you, Joe?
He left. He hung up.
Damn it.
Right when he knew you were going to ask if you could stay with him, he's like, I don't want this guy.
Oh,
I
no.
don't want him here.
Oh, my God. I'm so effed. It's not funny at all.
Your mother-in-law doesn't want to call in?
My mother, no. I was told she's not. My mother is debating if she's going to call in and scream at me. If you want to call and scream at Brian for making a stupid choice, 609-910-0687.
You all right over there?
No, I'm not.
Why? What happened,
I'm
Brian?
trying to figure out where I'm going to sleep tonight.
Damn.
I have a car.
Why'd you sleep in the back seat?
I can't get comfortable. Anyway, so we go to the part of the show, which is Tristan's favorite part.
Tristan's favorite part. You're right.
There you go.
And my favorite part sometimes is break. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. Royal Ramble Radio. I'm Tristan Law. He's Brian Schmidt, and we'll be right back.
I'm looking for a home.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Ramble Radio. I am Tristan Law, and he's
homeless.
He's Brian Schmidt. So yeah, we've talked about so much today. We've talked about Undertaker on Stone Cold Steve Austin, Broken Skull Sessions. We've even talked about Seth Rollins' heel turn. Is it the right time? We even talked about people getting their DMs slid into.
Yep.
But you know what? Let's go to the phone. Let's
go
see
to
who's
the
on the phone.
phones.
Royal Ramble Radio, what's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Claire, and I am Brian's mother.
Oh, hey! Hey, Brian's mom.
I'm half.
Mom, what? How do we have the pleasure?
I just heard something that you spent $6,500 on a belt?
Yeah.
Well, Claire,
Are you? Oh, wait, Brian, you must be Tristan. Bear with me for a second.
Yeah.
But Brian, are you losing your mind?
Well, Claire, I want to make sure. Can I call you? Can I call you Claire? Or should I call you Mom? I'm gonna call you Brian's mom.
Absolutely.
Brian's mom.
You can call me Claire.
So I want you to understand though that it's not $65,000 because there's also taxes and shipping. So it's probably more like $7,000.
$7,000, yeah.
It was 6,858.
Oh my Lord!
That's
Your
not
wife
accounting
is
shipping
going
and
to
handling.
have a fit. I cannot believe that you would spend that kind of money.
Wow, Brian.
Brian.
I think you've disappointed your mother.
Wow.
Not the first
Any
time.
words? Any words to say to your mother? She's asking for answers, Brian.
Can I stay at the house tonight?
Yeah, I haven't. No, because you need to go home and deal with this. Because I cannot believe that you would spend that kind of money. I just can't. You have babies coming, not one, but two.
Two.
That's right.
That's more than one, Brian.
That's right.
Yes, I know. Thank
Like
you.
you- like
you know
you
it's
got-
more than one. $6,858.
But you spent it. Don't be mad at us.
I'm not. I'm manning up to it. I'm owning up to it.
Are you talking back to your mother?
No, he would never talk back to his mother.
I know
That's
better
right.
because I get the whooping.
So Brian's mom, Mrs. Claire, I thought that when we were speaking to Rose earlier, I told her that it may be permissible for Brian to get that if he doesn't ask for anything for any Christmases for the next 12 years, bar mitzvahs for the next 100,
20 years.
20 years.
20
There you go,
years.
20 years. Maybe Brian wanted new tires on his
You
car.
know, it costs about $25,000 a year to raise a child.
Wow, Brian. So wait a minute, Brian. $25,000 a year to raise a child.
Plus, I have 3, so it's about almost $100,000.
Wow. So you bought a wrestling belt instead. Like, if you tear that belt in half, right, each of your kids will have what it costs to raise them for a year.
Well, he also said that it was an investment in the future. So
This is
20
true.
years from now, he
please.
could sell
Enough
it.
with this investment stuff.
So
Are
clearly,
you kidding me? Do you know how many collections we have that are investments? Now we have to add a belt to it.
Oh, so what kind of other investments are we talking about? Collections.
Mom, we're not talking about this.
so
But it's really.
so
This has been going on since you're 16 years old.
wow.
A pattern of behavior.
So Mom, is there anything that you would justify as a collection in your own personal collection for $6,000? Like maybe something that you love that you would say, you know what, I would spend $6,000 on it. What would you spend $6,000 on?
I wouldn't spend $6,000 on anything.
All right.
Okay.
Unless I was going to Hawaii for 2 weeks.
Well, you know what? Brian may need to go to Hawaii because I don't think he'll be able to go home.
He might.
So
He may not be able to go home. Absolutely.
instead of treating his mother, who raised him,
There you go.
to a wonderful trip to Hawaii,
Preach.
he decided to go out and buy a championship belt. But mind you, me and Tristan,
Right.
if we go back and we listen to the tapes, we were just trying to support him.
That's correct, we
We
were.
just said, whatever you feel is best for you.
That's correct.
And Brian, he just, instead of getting this trip for his mom, he went out and
bought a
selfishly
belt.
bought a title.
A belt. Like, Brian, if you
Well,
really
but best for you is not always best for your family.
That's true.
and there you go, and you have wise words from Mom.
And you have a family.
Claire, we appreciate you calling in. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you soon. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas
All
if I
right.
don't see you.
Bye, Mom.
To you. Bye-bye.
Wow, what a great phone call.
Wow, Brian.
How you feeling,
Yeah,
Brian?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, thanks,
okay?
guys. Appreciate it.
You know who else needs to call?
Don't.
Brian Jr.
No.
He's probably the only one that'll support you.
He'll be like, oh, yeah, that'd be great.
He's about to go to bed, so.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, so.
Maybe you tell him no more Finn Balor for the rest of the year, for the next 20 years because you bought that belt.
So in your office, do you have like soundproofing? Because you
I do.
guys might. Okay,
I do.
then that's
I do
where
have
the
soundproof.
argument will happen.
Maybe.
To not wake up,
We'll see.
the child, the young king.
The young destroyer of boobies, as he was. That's.
What?
Listen, when he was born, and this was going back 5 years now, I cut a promo, and I posted it on my Facebook. I'm trying to find it. I actually cut a promo as if I was Heyman.
What?
Yeah, I did. I cut a promo
So, hold on,
About
Steve.
you,
about my son.
Steve, real quick.
yeah.
You think Brian shouldn't name his son Mark?
I'm not naming
it's
my
an
son
excellent-
Mark.
It's an excellent name.
It's
What's wrong?
It's an excellent name, yes, but my son's not going to be named Mark.
Right.
Why not?
Because bros will say no. You heard her say no.
But you can't name him Brian Jr.
No,
the
it's going
second.
to be separate names.
Because
It's gonna be
right,
different
because you already have a Brian, and it'll
Yes.
get confusing. Because your wife will go, Brian. She'll get 3. Yes,
4, technically.
4.
4. We don't know the genders yet. So
Oh, so you would name all 4? You would name both of them Brian?
Well, I mean, he might be a fan of George Foreman.
That's true.
He did it.
That's true.
that's true. George Foreman did
You
name
can
all
have
his
a-
kids George.
What if you have a Brian and a Brianna?
Ooh, there is a Georgina.
There you go.
I'm not that.
Yeah, we should go with Mark. 'cause,
Yeah, Mark, you're
like
right.
father,
you're
like
right,
son.
Brian.
No.
Mark.
No.
Just-
It's
that's
like
the
Junior.
right way
No,
to go.
I'm not doing Mark. Absolutely not. You guys can go.
So Brian, you're not a Mark.
No,
You don't want your son to grow up and
my
like.
son is a Mark anyway, like me.
No, I don't. No. Your son is a child. You're a Mark.
Yes.
Oh God.
Brian's not having a fun one tonight.
No, I'm not. Actually, my first night back, I may not come back.
Oh, he may not come back. This is your show.
Yeah, right. Where are you going?
I have no idea.
Oh, man.
I have nowhere to go. I have nowhere to go.
You have somewhere to go, Brian.
Yeah, it's called the homeless shelter.
No,
in,
it's called-
in Secaucus.
It's called. You know what? You know what, Brian? I think you can still you can still save your marriage. You can still save the relationship with your mother and your friends and everybody else. All you have to do is when the package comes, just refuse shipment.
I don't know who that guy is.
Yeah.
Who's Brian P. Schmidt?
What the
Never
hell is
heard of him.
that? My name is Mark.
Mine's Brian B. Schmidt.
Right, and the B is for Mark.
I was saying Burns.
So, Brian, is that what you're going to do? Are you going to refuse shipment on this championship belt?
I just clicked return.
Oh, you were able to return?
I
Oh,
got
because
the
it didn't
refund.
ship yet.
It didn't ship yet. So
Oh,
I
wow.
refunded it. Yep.
That's a smart man, but I still think you're going to get a talking to when you get home.
You are.
I'm gonna get a whooping. I am going to get a whooping. It's not even funny.
Hey, you might like it. You should walk in the house and be like, Daddy needs a pankin. No.
What?
No. Daddy doesn't need a pankin?
No, I follow you on a lot of stuff, and I'm with you, but not that one.
Not that one.
I
Daddy
have
does not need a pankin?
no idea.
That's
no,
paddling.
That's a paddling.
Well, I'm glad.
Don't get the reference. That's the paddling.
I'm glad. Well, Brian, I'm glad that this debacle is almost over for you.
It's almost over.
However, one of my favorite segments, one of my favorite parts of the show is over and not over.
Okay.
So, over, not over, Ramblers, for those of you joining us for the first time, it's pretty much when we pick something that's over, something that's really great and positive in the professional wrestling industry today, and we pick something that's not over, something that's no bueno. No. So I'm going to start with you, Brian. Brian, what's over?
Daniel Bryan. I think he's getting more over now, more than he was when he was the Planet's champion. I think the Yes Movement coming back is going to surge him back into the over status in the WWE. So we'll see. Maybe he breaks the Fiend's little streak that he's been having since he came and beat Seth Rollins. We'll see.
Okay. Steve, what you got?
What's over for me right now is the Wednesday Night War. I think that the Wednesday Night Rating War has been fantastic, and now that the sheen is wearing off of both of them being new, we're finally getting to see what's real between both of those brands.
For me, what's over, what's super over right now is Rusev, Lana, and Bobby Lashley. Rusev, Lana, and Bobby Lashley's like super over for me right now because I feel like they've worked so hard to get this whole thing over. And Bobby, and if you watch WWE Starrcade, oh my God, when Rusev jumped that barricade and put the pause on Bobby Lashley, the fans were chanting Rusev Day. So I think, you know what?
It's working.
Finally, it's over. They had to touch first. They never touched.
Yeah.
They told the story and then they touched.
And they also cheered and they went crazy when Lana got arrested and when Bobby Lashley got arrested. So it is working. People confuse. I think that this is a fan thing. The go away heat. I don't think go away heat exists.
Yeah.
Because you're still watching it unless you're canceling it.
And heat's heat.
Heat is heat.
Heat is heat,
baby.
brother.
Heat is heat.
Heat is heat.
Not over.
Not over. Me buying the goddamn belt.
I mean, for your wife, that definitely was not over.
No, that's definitely not over at all. I think that was the biggest mistake of one of the biggest mistakes of my life. But yeah, thankfully I was able to return it.
Good, I'm glad. Thankfully, you were able to return it too.
Yeah, so I can go home now and sleep in my own bed. Maybe.
Steve?
What's not over for me right now is poor editing in independent wrestling companies. If you take your company seriously, hire a really good editor. There's no reason that you should be seeing some of the things that you're seeing, nasty jump cuts, all these kinds of things. And that's not to take any credit away from people who are working hard in those independent wrestling companies, those editors trying to make something happen.
Yeah.
It's just you might be in over your head. You might need other people to come in and assist. If you're not watching your product with a critical eye before it airs, it's not the editor's fault. It's to the Jim Cornette thing. It's not the fans' fault. It's your fault as a promotion who went and allowed that subpar product to be uploaded onto your platform. That is not over. Quality control in independent professional wrestling is not over with.
You know, I could agree with that because there's some people, some of these independent promoters out there, they're just trying to skate by, and like, you get what you pay for. You know, like if you're gonna have like Joe Schmo who has these programs in his computer and he knows how to use it, that's when you get that subpar product. You got to remember that's how you sell your product. That's how your shows that end up on YouTube or Fight TV or wherever they may end up, that's people saying, oh wow, this is something I maybe should watch. With so much wrestling out there, you need to try to look different.
Yeah.
So I can definitely agree with you. That's not over. What's not over for me? This might come to a shock to you guys. You ready? Starrcade. Starrcade is not over.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, okay. Let me hear it.
The reason why I think Starrcade is not over is because they had a cage match on Starrcade with The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and Braun Strowman.
Okay.
They had a bunch of other matches that we didn't get to see either. Granted, it was like a glorified house show.
Yes.
It was a glorified house show. So like for me, don't get it wrong. I was glad for the hour that we got. That was how they segued into the Trish Stratus WWE 24 special, which I love. 24, one of my favorite shows on the network.
For sure.
Sure.
However, I would have liked to see that whole entire event. Maybe give me an extra half an hour.
I would. Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely would have worked. And plus, there were issues at the start with the app. A lot of people missed out on the live thing.
Yes.
So, yeah, I would definitely agree that is something that isn't over. Are there any other WCW properties that you would pull back? Because, I mean, Starrcade is the most...
I would love to see Bash at the Beach again. Something like that.
Only if you do it on the beach, I think.
That's the thing.
Right.
And didn't Cody pick up some of those names?
I don't know. Maybe the name expired and he bought the name. I don't know.
Because WWE owns the majority of those.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was with the deal with the library and all that,
Right.
getting all the branding, which, by the way, has turned out to be one of the greatest business moves in the history of professional wrestling. They bought it for like $2 million.
Yep.
All of WCW, essentially. That's fantastic.
Which is why I feel that, Vince McMahon's mind is like interesting. That's the guy that, man, if I can spend, let me not be greedy. If I could spend 2 minutes with Vince McMahon, I just want to say, hey, tell me how your brain works. Just give me 2 minutes so I can understand you, because I feel like the guy's intelligent.
Yeah.
In all the stuff that he's made, in the business decisions that he's made, the way that he's revolutionized the wrestling business. Let me phrase that. He is the wrestling business, because when you think of pro wrestling, what do you normally think of? WWE.
Yeah.
He is the single most important figure in the history of professional wrestling.
Yes. Without Vince McMahon, would wrestling still be alive today?
I think that it would, but not in
the status it is right now, not in the consistency it is right now.
Right.
You wouldn't have the branding of it as well. So
like WWE went from WWE used to play. Let me rephrase that. WWF and WWF used to play shows in like high school gyms. Back in the day, just like indie shows do, and they don't have to do that anymore.
No, they don't.
They're playing football stadiums. Next month is January. We're getting the Royal Rumble
in a
baseball stadium.
In a baseball stadium, yeah.
Golly, look at the
Houston,
professional.
right?
I don't know.
Is it Houston?
It's somewhere around there.
It's somewhere hot.
It's not here.
Yeah, it'll never be. It couldn't be in Yankee Stadium.
That's the one.
I don't think anyone wants to go there.
That's the one pay-per-view that I have left that I desperately need to see.
Yes.
Like, I've been to a Mania finally, but Royal Rumble is my favorite non-WrestleMania one.
Yeah.
Obviously WrestleMania it goes Royal Rumble, then Survivor Series for me. So I've been to a SummerSlam. So
I've been to
all I need is a Royal Rumble and a Survivor Series
for the Big Four. So I've been to a Survivor Series.
You've been to a Mania.
I've been to
Two Mania.
Three Manias.
Three Manias.
Yeah.
I've been to 2 SummerSlams. I'm a Mark too.
Yeah. No shit.
I'm not as big of a Mark as you.
I've been to.
In order to be a professional wrestler, you have to love the business.
Yes.
Right.
So
But
you
like
have to be a fan.
some people.
there's a difference.
Oh, thanks.
Brian, you're walking around with a belt that you won playing a card game.
Yeah. So am I a
a
professionally wrestling card game?
Mark?
Please. I look good with this.
Okay.
The red strap's nice.
I do like a good red strap on a title.
Giggity.
Sure.
What? This is awkward.
Yeah, now I'm uncomfortable. But yeah, so the Royal Rumble's the only one that you have not been to yet?
That's the one I haven't. That and Survivor Series is the only two I haven't been to yet.
So yeah, all I have left is Royal Rumble and Survivor Series.
And
it's got to happen.
Rumble is Rose's favorite pay-per-view. So the next time Rumble does come around to this area,
It probably won't.
I know it probably won't. But
I was
still.
supposed to go to the one in Philly.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where it just didn't line up.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't want to hear Roman Reigns get booed anyway. So I would have been like one of the only people cheering at that time.
So, you guys watch WWE Network?
Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously. You watch Hidden Gems on WWE Network?
From time to time.
You're fired.
It depends on what it is.
It's going away.
Why?
Why?
I don't work for WWE. I just sit
So
here
wait,
with you guys.
they made an announcement that it was going away?
Yes, that Hidden Gems is going away.
See,
Is that confirmed or is that?
rumor and innuendo?
I mean, I don't know. I'm about to go on WWE Network right now
Please confirm that.
and see if I can watch Hidden Gems.
Well, anytime they ever take anything off, it's either for one of two reasons.
Mm-hmm.
It's either because it wasn't doing well, which I doubt that.
I doubt that's.
Or the second reason is generally they're going to repackage it into something else. So I think that's the more likely scenario as we get closer to the end of the broadcast here. Wow, 2 hours has gone pretty fast.
It sure has.
Pretty fast.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Oh, you guys are both on your phone.
Well,
I feel like the boomer here.
I'm looking.
You are the boomer.
I'm looking for Hidden Gems.
It's not there?
I'm looking at Paige on Instagram.
What page on Instagram, Brian?
You're already in trouble at
Wow.
home. You really think you want to go this route?
I was just looking at Beth Phoenix too.
Wow.
Rose, we're sorry.
No, because she's probably looking at freaking Randy Orton anyway.
Is she?
Randall Keith.
Randall Keith, yes. She will stare him up and down all over the place.
Nope, I still see hidden gems there.
Okay, so it's still there.
I guess the latest thing that they added was Survivor Series show 92, recently added. So,
Oh, nice.
Maybe they'll stop adding things, but I don't know. But
I certainly hope not.
Yeah.
I hope not
I hope
either.
they keep it going.
Yeah. That would hurt my heart.
All right, well, I want to say thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Royal Ramble Radio tonight. It's our first show back after the Thanksgiving break. I do appreciate it. Tristan, put yourself over like you like to do.
Well, I am Tristan Law. He's Brian Schmidt. This is Royal Ramble Radio. We'll be back next week, 7 to 9 at RoyalRambleRadio.com.